Welcome back everyone to another gameplay video from the recently released Motorsport Manager Challenge Pack DLC. In our first video, we took a look at the first rookie level challenge, which is Sprinkler Savvy. And in that, we had to finish at least third place or above with one of the two drivers on our team in the midst of basically the mystery of not knowing when the sprinklers would be activated. Now, this is the first time that I've ever seen anything like the sprinkler system that they had set up at the race. And I must admit, I had a thoroughly enjoyable time with that challenge. We were able to complete that. But most importantly, we had tons of fun. So now we're going to move on to our second of the rookie level challenges, and it's called Fighting for Fifth. So here's the setup. It's the last race of the championship. Chapman can secure the driver's championship without even getting on the podium. That's always good. I assume that's where fighting for fifth comes into play. However, after a crash-heavy and rain-soaked first lap, so apparently we're not even going to be starting at the very beginning of the race, our plan must evolve. So Olivera is closing fast, and her position will directly impact where Chapman needs to place. Can he overcome the odds? So there's definitely some mystery here. It appears as though we need to finish fifth or above from the naming. But of course, our objective is ultimately to have Harry Chapman win the driver's championship. And we have a close competitor that is going to affect where we need to finish. It should be interesting to see how it all plays out. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, now we are at the track ready to get started. You can see as I had figured from the main screen, we are not starting at the very beginning of the race. We are actually on lap 4. So now what does this do for us? Let's set the stage of where we are. Remember, we need Chapman to win the championship. Let's start off by taking a look at where we are. Chapman right now has a handy lead, a 9-point lead over Olivera. Oops. And it seems like I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. But Olivera, you can see, is back in 10th. So right here in this red car. All right, so that's the car we're going to be paying attention to. And as long as we can stay within striking distance, we don't necessarily even have to defeat Olivera in the race. We just have to stay within striking distance, within 2 or 3, maybe even 4 places to make sure that we win the championship with Chapman. So that's going to be our goal. Right now, we are under a safety car, and we are running 7th and 9th as far as the team cars. So the question becomes, where is the weather? Now, they told us at the very beginning, after a rain-soaked beginning to the race. All right, here's our crash they mentioned. And so now we've got, you can see there's dampness on the track, no doubt. All right, so how do we handle this? Looks like the dampness is at least going to be here through lap 8, probably 9, and we're on lap 4. So we know we've got at least a few more laps under this damp and wet condition. So it doesn't look like it's going to behoove us to come into the pits just yet to change tires. All right, so our strategy, both drivers are in the blue, although I'm going to admit right now, I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention to Robertson in this particular video because, well, Robertson doesn't figure into the championship for us. It's not a team championship we're looking for. It is the driver championship with Chapman. So I'm probably going to spend as little time on Robertson as I possibly can and spend my time looking at the championship standings and looking at, of course, where we are in relation to that red car back here. As long as we stay ahead of the red car or even behind the red car within a couple of positions, we're going to be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and get things rolling. Let's go ahead and back out a little bit. We may have to adjust our camera. Let's go ahead and fast forward things. You can see we're coming around. Pace car is in, and we are coming around. There we go. You can see everybody's starting to get going. So we're going to do the same. For right now, I am holding off on being too aggressive with the engine because of this. This is our lowest part on the car, and I don't like the looks of that, 67. So we're going to have to manage that a little bit throughout this race, and we can't just go full tilt. We do have a little bit of additional fuel that we have managed to save up through cautions and through not running the car on high, because my guess is As soon as we turn this over to high, this number starts to come down. Of course, if we go to full overtake, this number comes down even quicker. So we're not going to do that. But however, what I want to do is I want to push right now. I want to try to make up some times if we can, and I want to make sure that I don't lose any positions if at all possible. All right, let's go ahead and do the same with both cars. We're going to push, and we'll keep an eye on the heat. All right, our focus right now is going to be making up positions where possible, but the biggest thing is keep that red car behind us, and that red car is right there with us. You can see in 6th position right there, now back to 7th is the red car. Looks like their team car is also here in place. So there they are, the 2 red cars. We now sit in 4th. All right, we are going to push. Yes, you can see it looks like on somewhere around lap 9 or so, the rain is going to diminish, and we're going to start to get a drying track. Now, how long that lasts, we don't know. But for right now, we've got what we've got. I like where we are. We're sitting in 4th position, and keep in mind who that is right with us that just passed us. That's who we have to stay in front of. Okay, I'm going to back off a little bit on the tire. Oh, and there we go. We just crashed. All right, I don't see a safety car, so now I'm not going to have to worry about Robertson at all. All right, and we are falling back. All right, I'm going to have to up the pace a little bit here. We can't afford to fall back near as far as we are. Wow, we have fallen like a rock. Okay, so we're back to 9th, and you can see 3rd position. This is not good for us. You can see we're down to a 1-point lead as things stand right now. Okay, let's keep an eye on our track. Okay, everything looks to be pretty good there. All right, yes, I know your tire degradation is indeed through the roof. If you can just hang on a couple more laps, then we will be in good shape. The bad news is our competitor, Olivera, is, wow, up to 3rd and now up to 2nd. I mean, you can see things are definitely not good. We're going to have to do a lot better than we are right now. Our tires, Olivera has better tires than everyone. You can see they've already made 1 pit stop. So that's why their tires are better. And they have speed. So this is not a good combination for us. And you can see Olivera is quickly diminishing the lead and headed toward the race lead. All right, let's see what we get. All right, now things are coming down. So let's see what happens at this point. All right, we're going to go ahead and pit this next time by because I need something to jolt. You can see the dampness is nearly gone by the time we make our pit stop and get back out. And I've got 2 choices. I can go ultra softs, which should get me, I'm not even going to plan for the 12 laps. I always plan for about 9 laps, 1 fewer than what it shows here. Or I can go about 13 to 14 laps on the super softs. Because I'm not sure what's going to happen with the weather, again, we can't see that far into the future. I can just see that through about lap 15, 16 or so, it looks like we're going to have some dry weather. That's all I'm going to count on. All right, so I'm going to go ultra softs. We have 2 pair here, and it looks like we just might be able to make it to the end of the race, assuming no more weather changes, of course. And keeping an eye on here, I'm not going to take the time to make any fixes. I'm going to leave it balanced because that is a huge percentage risk there. So we're going to go with a balanced stop. All right, so now we've got everything. All right, go ahead. We'll go with full attack mode through the remainder of this lap and see what we can get. All right, now here we go. All right, I'm going to come out and I'm going to push the engine just a little bit here. And by a little bit, I mean for a lap or 2, because if you look on the screen at the top right-hand corner, you can see we've got clear track ahead. And that is the best case scenario for us to use up our equipment. If you're going to use your equipment, that's when you want to do it. So we're going to give it a lap, maybe a lap and a half or so of really pushing. Let's see what kind of lap we can do on the engine here. All right, we need to make these passes. We cannot afford to be held up like this. We cannot afford this because we are on the better tire. All right, let's take a look at our weather once again. Everything looks good, but you can see right at the end, at about lap 19 or so, it looks like we're going to start to get some wetness again. So we need five more laps roughly out of this set of tires. And, you know, who knows if we're going to get that or not. Let's take a quick glance at our championship. We are tied right now. And the reason we're tied is because Olivera is leading the race. So we don't need Olivera to be winning the race. That is no good for us. Let's take a look at our condition. Wow, 50% and dropping, of course. And you can see our additional fuel is indeed dropping. But right now we are in danger of losing multiple positions. And yeah, there we go. All right, 6th or above seems to be the challenge objective. I'm not sure about that, though. That's not going to win us the championship as it is right now. It doesn't appear. I mean, right now we're tied. So, yeah, I guess that does make sense, 6th or above for now. But again, we'll see how that goes as things progress. All right, let's take another look. Oh, wow, yeah, it's going to start raining. So it's time to go. All right, let's see if we can make up something. I know we're in position that we need to be in order to win the championship here, but that's not good enough because you can see right on our heels is 7th position. And if we don't get there, then if we finish in 7th like we are right now, and for some reason, whenever we start to push, we start losing. I guess that's got something to do with the tire heat. They must have gone even better on the tire heat than they have in the past. Because in the past you could just continue to push. So they must have been part of an update that I have not simply seen the notes to. All right, we're going to keep going as hard as we can, which is not much because we don't want these tires. All right, do we start to get weather? Yes. We're going to start to get weather. Here comes the rain. And I'm going to put on the enters. Pitch strategy, once again, I'm going to leave it there. I do not like that risk because in our position right now, you can see condition is dropping quickly there. In our position, if we have a bad pit stop, we're done for. With what appears to be Olivera coming home with an easy win. And I say easy because look where we are, 1st and 2nd there. Oh, and we've got a huge mistake. Oh, my goodness. All right, now how are we supposed to win races with that being the case? All right, we're going to have to push. This is going to put us way behind the 8 ball now. I mean, we gave up, I forget exactly how much time we gave up there, but it was a huge amount. The only thing we can hope for now is that we can make up some spots while we're the first ones on the wet weather tires. We're going to have to go as hard as we can. Now keep in mind that these guys in the front are going to have to stop to put on wet weather tires. All right, why are we not passing right here? We've got to pass. There we go. All right, now we've got no shot at the lead because you can see the leader is 3/4 of a lap ahead of us, only 1/4 of a lap behind us. So we've got, all right, we're making up time fast though. All right, we are now in 9th. We are the first running car of those that have stopped already. All right, I'm going to go ahead and back off a little bit on the tires. I don't know what we're going to get as far as that goes. All right, so now we are up to 5th. And where are we in 5th? Oh, we have a nice lead over 6th, so we're in good shape right now. Even though that, I mean, think about right now where we would be had we not had that catastrophe in the pit stop. If we had not had that, we would be in much, much better shape. All right, so we've backed off. Right now, the reason I've backed off on our engine is because you can see we're down to 28% here. We're going to have to limp this home. Once you get below 20%, it is a crapshoot as to how quickly this thing will drop. So right now, we're going to try to conserve what we have. And I see 6th position is coming up on us. Let's keep an eye on the lap times and see how quickly they're. All right, he's saying we need to get out on wet tires. I don't necessarily buy that because that's another pit stop, and I don't think we could make up that kind of time. All right, so we're losing quite a bit of time here. And for some reason, our tire heat will not come back down. It should come back down at least slowly, but it doesn't seem to be coming back down at all. Okay, now lap time stabilized between 5th and 6th, which is exactly what we needed. We will not be coming in for any pit stops, even though I definitely understand the need for it. You can see we've got several parts here that are looking a bit dodgy, but we've only got 2 laps to go, and we've got what we've got. Let's take a look at the championship. We are 1 point ahead, and that is with Olivera leading and, of course, on wet tires. So there's no danger. If we look at the track, you can see a huge lead between 1st and 2nd, so no danger of Olivera not winning this race. So we have to maintain what we've got in 5th, but remember, we can drop back actually to 6th, but I have absolutely no desire to do that. All right, final lap, and we are looking good. We just need our car to hold together, even though we've got some parts that are not looking too good. All right, we're in the last half of the lap. We're in the twisty part now, the part where if you're going to wreck, you would generally think this would be the time. But so far, so good. We are looking good, and we did it. Woo, okay. All right, that was interesting. That's why they call them challenges. Even though this was considered an easy challenge, to me, that was not an easy challenge because we had a terrible pit stop. We got some very dodgy looking parts that were making it very difficult for us to push. And yeah, we just did not have a lot of speed in the car. Wow. So we end up bringing it home somehow. So now let's go ahead and move through these screens. Not particularly worried about these screens. But then if you look at the World Championship standings, which I'm sure we're going to get to here momentarily. Okay, the team, we come home 3rd. And there we go. So we do pass the test. We pass the challenge, and we get a new player accessory that will be available for a new career, and we'll find out what that will be, and a hat pack. All right, so everybody's favorite, the chicken hat, military hat. We got, okay, the fedora. We got some interesting choices here. If you're into that kind of thing, me personally, that really doesn't enthuse me at all. I'm here for the gameplay, and the hats will be quickly forgotten. But the main thing for us is we completed it. Fighting for 5th, and that's exactly where we ended up finishing. I do think the difficulty should not have been easy on this one. Again, we did not have a fast car. That's for sure. We had a terrible, terrible pit stop and lost many seconds there. Again, I forget. It was something like 6 to 8 seconds, I think, maybe even more than that. So lost a ton of time there, terrible parts. To me, this was anything but an easy. Wow. So very nicely done on the parts of the developers. I definitely think that this was a great challenge that they put together, and I can't wait to do more. Now, if you take a look at where we sit now, we've done 2 of the 5 rookie challenges. If we complete one more, we'll be able to unlock the pro level challenges. So we'll be looking next time to complete more rookie level challenges here in Motorsport Manager.